Stop. Don't spend those pennies in your hand, because right now, collectors and auctions are paying anywhere from $50 million to $120 million for rare pennies like these. Don't scroll, don't skip. This video could literally change your life. You might think that a penny from 1984 is just another coin, something ordinary, something you've passed by thousands of times without a second thought. But what if I told you that hidden within the millions of pennies minted that year lies a treasure that could completely change your life? The 1984 1-cent penny from the United States is not just a piece of copper. It is a story, a mystery, and for those who know, a golden opportunity wrapped in the guise of everyday currency. Most people overlook it, tossing it into jars or leaving it in drawers, unaware that the tiniest details on its surface could make it worth far more than anyone could imagine. The year 1984 was a pivotal time for the United States Mint. Pennies were being produced by the millions, meant for circulation in pockets, purses, and cash registers. But hidden among the countless coins struck that year were subtle anomalies. Errors so minute that they could easily pass unnoticed by the untrained eye. Some coins were struck slightly off-center, some bore die cracks, and others carried doubling in the lettering, a phenomenon known as a double die. These imperfections, seemingly insignificant, are exactly what make the 1984 penny so coveted by collectors today. Each variation tells a unique story, a silent witness to the exact moment it was pressed in the mint, and a clue that it could be worth a fortune in the right hands. Auctions have long been the proving ground for coins like this. From high-profile collector auctions in New York and Los Angeles to smaller, private auctions behind closed doors, the 1984 penny has consistently turned heads. Imagine the tension in a room when a rare example of this coin appears. Collectors lean forward, paddles in hand, eyes fixed on the auctioneer, hearts racing as bids climb higher and higher. Each bidder knows that this is not just a coin. They're competing for a piece of history, for a coin that has defied the odds and retained its rarity despite millions being minted. In some cases, bidding wars have erupted, with collectors willing to pay tens of thousands of dollars just to secure this small copper marvel. What makes the 1984 penny so extraordinary is the way it combines rarity, condition, and subtle minting anomalies. A penny with a minor misstrike, a slight doubling, or a tiny die crack can leap in value from its face value of 1 cent to thousands of dollars in an auction setting. The coin's condition is paramount. Circulated pennies show wear, scratches, and dulling, but an uncirculated penny, preserved in pristine condition, can command staggering prices. Grading becomes crucial, with experts examining every curve, every letter, every nuance to determine its authenticity and worth. And once a coin is verified as a rare 1984 variant, it becomes the center of intense collector interest, often appearing in multiple auctions, sometimes selling for more than expected with each successive sale. Collectors and enthusiasts often share stories of the thrill of discovery. Finding a rare 1984 penny in an old coin jar, tucked away in a drawer, or passed down through generations as pocket change. The moment of realization, when an expert confirms that this is no ordinary penny, is unforgettable. Suddenly, the coin is transformed from a simple piece of copper into a prized artifact, a treasure that could sell for tens of thousands of dollars. And yet, most people still walk past it every day, unaware of its hidden potential. Over the years, the 1984 penny has become a fixture in the world of high-end auctions. Private collectors, numismatic experts, and even casual enthusiasts eagerly track upcoming auctions, hoping for a chance to acquire one of these rare coins. The excitement is palpable as each penny comes under the magnifying glass, its imperfections examined and celebrated. These auctions are more than just marketplaces. They are theaters where history, rarity, and fortune intersect, where a single coin can command attention and awe. Behind closed doors, deals are made, collectors swap stories, and a 1984 penny continues to cement its status as one of the most intriguing coins of its era. And while the coin itself is fascinating, the stories surrounding it are equally captivating. Tales circulate of estates where collectors stumbled upon long-forgotten 1984 pennies, of inheritance boxes filled with coins that would later be authenticated and sold for astonishing sums. Every auction is another chapter in the coin's journey, another chance for someone to uncover a fortune hidden in plain sight. It is a reminder that treasures are often disguised as the mundane, and that a single moment of discovery can change everything. Now, after decades of circulation, scrutiny, and intrigue, the 1984 1-cent penny has reached its pinnacle in the collector world. Through countless auctions, private sales, and high-stakes bidding events, it has proven that rarity, condition, and historical significance can elevate even the most unassuming coin to extraordinary heights. For those who understand its value, it is more than currency. It is a symbol of patience, insight, and the thrill of discovery. And here is the most astonishing part. Today, a high-grade, rare 1984 1-cent penny, especially one with a verified mint error or unique characteristic, can command an incredible price of $50,000 at auction. That's right. What many would dismiss as a simple penny is in fact a treasure, a story, and a fortune all rolled into one small piece of copper. For those who have it, the potential is life-changing, and for those who don't, it's a reminder to always look closer, to never underestimate the value of the ordinary, and to know that history and fortune often hide in the smallest places. So, the next time you find a penny from 1984, don't just toss it aside or drop it in a jar with the rest of your loose change. Take a closer look. Hold it up to the light. Examine the tiniest details, the subtle lines, the lettering, the edges. You might be staring at a coin that has the power to change everything, a hidden treasure that most people overlook, but that collectors would give anything to hold in their hands. In the world of coin collecting, the ordinary can quickly become extraordinary. The 1984 1-cent penny is proof that fortune can hide in plain sight, waiting for the patient, the observant, and the curious to discover it. Every coin tells a story. Every flaw tells a secret, and every rare find holds the promise of a fortune. You might be holding in your hand a coin that could change everything you thought you knew about collectibles. A simple penny, something we pass by every day without a second thought, yet in the right hands, in the right moment, it transforms from common currency into a treasure that collectors dream about. The 1987 1-cent penny from the United States is one such coin, a coin that seems ordinary, mundane even, yet it has secrets that very few people truly understand. Many people don't even realize that this small piece of copper could be the key to hundreds of thousands of dollars, quietly waiting in a drawer, in a jar, or even scattered across loose change. The story of this coin begins in the heart of the United States, mint during a time when American coinage was both routine and revolutionary. 1987 was a year when the mint was producing pennies by the millions, and yet among all these mass-produced coins, a tiny fraction was made with subtle differences, variations so minute that only the keenest eyes could detect them. It was during this period that mint errors, die anomalies, and other quirks created coins that would one day become the holy grail of collectors. Every year, millions of pennies were minted for circulation, but only a handful carried these hidden traits that make the 1987 penny so special today. If you think about a penny from 1987, most people would shrug, toss it in a jar, and forget about it. But for those who hunt coins in auctions, in estate sales, in hidden stashes, this penny is a gem. There are subtle signs, barely visible to the untrained eye, that make the difference between a worthless copper disc and a coin worth tens of thousands. Some are caused by double strikes, some by off-center minting, and others by rare die cracks. Each variation tells a story of the coin's journey from the press of the mint to the hands of a collector who knew its worth before anyone else. Imagine the thrill of discovering one of these coins in a pile of pennies, knowing that most people never even notice them, and that the next big auction could see it sell for 5 figures, maybe even more. Auctions have always been the stage where these pennies reveal their true value. From exclusive collector auctions in New York to private, invitation-only sales in smaller cities, the 1987 penny has made waves across the coin collecting world. Experts, dealers, and private collectors all circle these auctions, sometimes bidding tens of thousands of dollars, each hoping to acquire this seemingly insignificant coin. The tension in these rooms is palpable. When the auctioneer brings out a rare 1987 penny, the crowd leans forward, eyes narrowing, paddles ready, hearts racing. These auctions are not just about money. They're about prestige, about owning a piece of history that most people pass by without ever giving it a second thought. What makes the 1987 penny so collectible? Part of it is rarity, but the magic lies in the errors and subtle differences that distinguish one coin from another. Some coins were struck slightly off-center, giving them a misaligned look that is actually highly desirable to collectors. Others show doubling in the lettering, a phenomenon known as a double die, which makes the coin unique and impossible to replicate exactly. Even the tiniest imperfection can increase a coin's value exponentially, transforming it from a 1-cent piece into a rare collector's item that could be the centerpiece of a private collection. And yet, the coin looks completely ordinary to most people. It is this very ordinariness that hides its extraordinary potential. Collectors who understand the 1987 penny know that condition is everything. A coin that has been circulated, touched, and scratched over the years will not fetch the same price as one that has been preserved, almost as if it had been protected in a time capsule. Grading becomes critical. Experts examine every inch, every curve, every marking, assigning a grade that can make or break its value in an auction. A high-grade 1987 penny, with one of the rare errors in pristine condition, can command jaw-dropping sums, and stories abound of coins selling for tens of thousands of dollars to eager bidders who understand that they are acquiring not just a coin, but a piece of numismatic history. Imagine, for a moment, stumbling upon such a coin without even knowing it. Perhaps it has been sitting in a collection for decades, forgotten in a box, or passed down through generations as loose change. You take it to a local coin shop, and the experts' eyes widen as they examine it under magnification. They confirm what you never knew. This is not an ordinary penny. It is the rare, highly sought-after 1987 1-cent penny, one of the few in existence with a specific die error that makes it extraordinarily valuable. Suddenly, the penny in your hand is no longer just copper. It is a key that unlocks a world of auctions, private collectors, and astronomical prices. In recent years, the 1987 penny has become a regular star in auctions worldwide. From high-profile collector auctions in major cities to smaller, more intimate auctions that take place behind closed doors, these pennies continue to astonish those who thought they knew coin collecting. Some auctions have seen intense bidding wars, with collectors raising their paddles rapidly, each willing to pay more than the last to secure a coin that very few people can even identify. The thrill is not only in the acquisition, but also in the recognition that this tiny, unassuming coin has a story, a journey that spans decades, across cities, collectors, and continents. And while collectors chase these coins, the stories of fortune and surprise continue to grow. People have found 1987 pennies in old wallets, hidden in jars, in couch cushions, and even tucked away in forgotten drawers. Each discovery is a reminder that fortune sometimes hides in plain sight, waiting for the observant and the patient to uncover it. Auctions become not just a marketplace, but a stage for these stories to unfold. And every time a 1987 penny comes up for sale, the room holds its breath, the paddles go up, and the world witnesses the power of a coin that most people would overlook. Now, after decades of circulation, scrutiny, and admiration, the 1987 1-cent penny has achieved something remarkable. Through years of private auctions, high-profile collector events, and whispered deals behind closed doors, this penny has proven its worth in the most dramatic way possible. What once seemed like a simple piece of everyday currency has become a collector's dream, a piece of history, and a financial treasure all rolled into one. The rarity, the condition, the subtle errors. All these factors have combined to create a coin that is no longer just a penny, but a symbol of the unexpected value hidden in the ordinary. And so, if you hold a 1987 1-cent penny in your hand, or if you stumble across one in a dusty drawer or a jar of old coins, understand this. You might be holding a fortune. This is not just speculation. This is the reality of the coin collecting world. The experts, the auctions, the collectors, they all know it. And the moment of truth, the final revelation that collectors and enthusiasts have waited for, is astonishing. Today, a high-grade 1987 1-cent penny with the rarest of errors has reached an incredible value of $50,000 in auction, proving once and for all that sometimes the most extraordinary treasures are hidden in the most ordinary places, waiting for the lucky few to discover them. So, as you sit there, maybe looking at your loose change or rifling through an old coin jar, ask yourself, could one of these ordinary pennies be hiding something extraordinary? Could your next trip to the bank, your next rummage through a drawer, uncover a fortune you never imagined? The 1987 1-cent penny is proof that treasures are often hiding in plain sight, waiting for the patient, the observant, and the curious to find them. Remember, in the world of coin collecting, knowledge is power, and opportunity is fleeting. That seemingly simple penny could turn into a ticket to a life-changing moment, an auction paddle in your hand, and the thrill of owning something truly rare. So keep your eyes open, handle your coins carefully, and never underestimate the value of what seems ordinary. And who knows? The next 1987 penny you see might just be the one that turns your world upside down, joining the ranks of those coveted coins that have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. A reminder that history, mystery, and fortune often come in the smallest, most unexpected forms. You might think a penny from 1975 is just another coin, one of millions produced, something so ordinary you'd hardly notice it in your pocket. But what if I told you that hidden among those millions of pennies struck at the Denver Mint lies a treasure that could completely change your life? The 1975 1-cent penny is more than copper. It's a story, a mystery, and for those who know, a potential fortune waiting to be discovered. Most people don't realize it, tossing it into jars or loose change, unaware that a few small details on its surface can make it incredibly valuable in the right hands. The story begins in 1975, a time when the United States Mint was producing pennies by the millions for circulation. The Denver Mint, denoted by the small d on the coin, struck hundreds of millions that year. Most were destined to pass from hand to hand, unnoticed, their journey through pockets and cash registers unremarkable. But among those ordinary coins, there were subtle differences, tiny anomalies, and rare errors that transformed some into treasures. Some coins were slightly off-center, some bore unusual die cracks, and a few carried doubling in the lettering, a phenomenon collectors call a double die. These imperfections, invisible to the casual observer, are exactly what make the 1975 D penny highly sought after today. Collectors know that the magic of this coin lies in rarity, condition, and minting anomalies. Even a slight misstrike or tiny doubling can elevate a common penny into a coin worth thousands. And the 1975 D is especially intriguing because Denver Mint coins from this era were produced in massive quantities, yet only a very small percentage carry these collectible traits. That rarity, combined with excellent preservation, creates the perfect storm for collector interest. Every detail matters, from the sharpness of the date and mint mark to the lustrous finish on the surface. Grading is critical, as coins in pristine, uncirculated condition can command astronomical prices at auctions worldwide. Speaking of auctions, this is where the 1975 D penny truly comes to life. From high-profile collector auctions in New York to private, invitation-only sales behind closed doors, the 1975 D penny has become a star. Imagine the tension in the room as an auctioneer holds up a rare variant of this coin. Collectors lean forward, paddles ready, eyes fixed on every movement. The bidding begins, and the room pulses with excitement as the price climbs, often tens of thousands of dollars in minutes. Each collector knows that this is more than a coin. It is a piece of history, a rare artifact, a potential fortune. Stories of discovery only add to the allure. People have found rare 1975 D pennies tucked in old jars hidden in drawers and passed down through generations as loose change. The thrill of realizing you have one of these coins is indescribable. Experts, armed with magnification tools, examine every angle, confirming what you never knew. That ordinary penny is extraordinary, a highly prized coin sought after by collectors around the world. The excitement is not just in its monetary value, but in its rarity and its connection to history. Over the years, the 1975 D penny has appeared in countless auctions, consistently surprising both collectors and numismatic experts. In some cases, bidding wars erupt, paddles flying, as collectors recognize the significance of the coin before them. Its unique features, combined with excellent condition, make it one of the most fascinating pennies from the 1970s. And while most people overlook it in everyday circulation, in the collector world, it is a treasure, a symbol of fortune hiding in plain sight. And now, after decades of fascination, private sales, and auction excitement, the 1975 D1-cent penny has proven its worth. Experts agree that a high-grade 1975 D penny with the rarest features can command incredible sums, reaching prices that many would never expect from a single cent. Its journey from the Denver mint presses to collectors' hands, through decades of circulation and scrutiny, has transformed it from a simple coin into a coveted artifact. For those who are lucky enough to have one, the 1975 D penny is not just currency. It is a reminder that treasures can be hidden in the most ordinary places. A jar of loose change, a forgotten drawer, a wallet passed down through generations. Anywhere could hold the key to a fortune, waiting for someone observant, someone patient, someone curious enough to notice. So if you hold a 1975 D penny in your hand, look closely. Examine every detail, appreciate every line, and understand that this small piece of copper could be your gateway to the fascinating world of rare coins, collector auctions, and potentially life-changing value. As we dive deeper into the story of the 1975 D penny, it becomes clear that this coin is more than just a relic of the past. It is a symbol of patience, observation, and the thrill of discovery. Many of these pennies were handled countless times in everyday transactions, yet some survived in remarkable condition, untouched and preserved by luck or foresight. These uncirculated examples are the ones that make collectors' hearts race. They hold a shine that seems to capture the very essence of the 1970s, the era of their creation, and the story of the Denver Mint itself. What makes the 1975 D so fascinating is how easily it can be overlooked. Millions were minted, yet only a fraction contained the rare anomalies that drive value. Some feature subtle doubling on the date or the word liberty, known as a double die. Others may have slight misalignments, off-center strikes, or tiny die cracks that give them a uniqueness no modern coin can replicate. These minute details are almost invisible to the casual eye, but are like gold to the collector. And it's exactly these nuances that can turn an ordinary penny into a prized auction piece. Auctions are where the true drama of the 1975 D unfolds. In high-profile collector auctions, as soon as a rare example of this penny is brought to the podium, the room changes. Bidders lean forward, grips tighten, and the excitement is tangible. Each paddle raised is a silent statement. I recognize this coin for what it truly is. Some of these auctions take place behind closed doors, where private collectors meet and trade rare coins quietly, but with fierce intensity. The stakes are high, and the prize is not just the coin itself, but the recognition and prestige that comes with owning one of the rarest examples from 1975. Even casual collectors have their own stories of discovery. A penny found in a dusty drawer or hidden among loose change can turn into a moment of awe. Imagine bringing such a coin to a coin shop or a local auction and having an expert examine it under a magnifying glass. The revelation can be life-changing. That ordinary-looking penny is suddenly a rare 1975 D, a coin that could fetch tens of thousands of dollars. Stories like this circulate among collectors, inspiring treasure hunts in estates, old cash registers, and forgotten jars of coins. Every discovery reinforces the idea that fortune is often hiding in plain sight.